Thank you very much for joining.
Hello.
Yeah, Favor, can you hear
I
me?
can hear you.
Oh, I can see and hear you clearly. Can anyone else hear me?
Hello.
Maluk or Joel, if you can hear me, please give me feedback.
Yeah, we can hear you, JP.
Favor, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Favor, we can hear
All right.
you. We can see you.
I can barely hear a thing, but
We can hear you clearly, so just go ahead.
Okay, let me go ahead. My name is Favour Brown. As you all may know me already. I have survived suicide somewhere 2010. I had a marital breakdown that made me become suicidal. I was then in Ghana. So when I got suicidal, I took a chemical. I took specifically Parazone, and then I was rushed to the hospital. So when I was treated for the Parazone, I was discharged. And unfortunately, I was not given any form of psychological or counseling therapy. I don't know, possibly, maybe the nurses at the time did not understand what exactly was wrong with me. They just treated the physical substance that I had taken, but my mental situation was still the same. So when I got home, then according to my husband at the time, who is now my ex, he said he felt that if I died, they would come after him. He would be questioned. So, and he also knew that, suicide is a crime. So he went to the police, Ashaman police station specifically, to make a report. So I was about a week after the incident, I was physically okay. So I resumed work. At the time, I was working with Tama Oil Refinery. So while at work, I got a call from the reception that they had some policemen there, and then they wanted to come for me because they had a warrant for my arrest at the Ashaman police station. So I came downstairs and I went to the reception. Apparently, I was shocked because I didn't know what I've done. I asked them, are they sure it is me they are looking for? Then they said, yes, it's me. So I said, what for? And the usual thing is, okay, our commander asked us to bring you. When we get to the station, you would be told what exactly the problem is, but just cooperate and come with us. So I obliged, and then I went with them. So when we got to the station, I met their commander, who was a very great man, a very good man. He was quite aged, so I called him Daddy. Then he was like, yeah, you are my daughter. So he took me to his office. Apparently, he didn't make me write any statements. He took me to the office. Then he told me that there's a gentleman came there, apparently my ex, and made a report that I had made an attempt on my life. And so that is why they came to pick me up. And I said, yeah, I had been going through problems in the relationship for quite some time. And so I felt that apparently this was my first ever relationship. We started somewhere, I was 18 years at the time. And this happened after like 5 years into the whole thing. So I actually did not understand relationship issues. And I felt that this was a gentleman I started life with. So I didn't want the problems that we've been having all this while. So that led me to feel that, if it was not working, then, life was not worth it. That's why I tried to end it off. So he told me that, okay, but do I know that it is a crime in Ghana? I was shocked. I was like, no, I don't know. As a matter of fact, at the time, I had not read about suicide. I had not read about depression. I didn't have much knowledge. I had heard severally on radio or TV that, okay, someone had committed suicide. I had seen people with mental problems, but I did not, have the right knowledge about what exactly was happening to me myself. And unfortunately, when I was discharged, I was not given any psychologist to tell me that this was your problem. So I was confused at the police station. I was like, I'm having a problem. I feel I'm not well. And so if I'm not well, why would you want to worsen my situation by telling me that I'm committing a crime instead of helping me? So the commander was like, yeah, that is why I decided to bring you to the office. If I'm to go strictly by my procedure, I should have made you write your statement and tell me what exactly what happened. Then we can, process you for court. So I started thanking him because I felt that, okay, he was rather being nice to me. Then he said he would want to rather introduce me to someone who he knows who has done some form of counseling. And that was the DOFSU head at the Ashaman branch, one lady, Christine. So he said he wants to rather introduce me to Christine because he believes that Christine would help me overcome whatever challenges I was facing in the relationship, and then also see how best he can intervene to solve the situation. And then he also said that from then he would want to always check on me if that is fine with me, so that he can be of help to see how we can both find a solution to whatever I was going through. So I was a bit relieved. Then he took me to Christine's office, and then he told him what exactly the problem was, and she was also very helpful. From then she gave me her number, told me to call her anytime I had a problem, and then she would take care of me. So the commander told me that because of the fact that there's a complaint, he would also have to go through certain procedures to make sure that at least he did his best. Because if I end up dying, then they would say that when they made a complaint, he did not take any action. So he would be coming to the house, or if I want to be coming to, so that at least he can also believe that something is going on, or he's taking some action. So I agreed. So from time to time, when I close from work, I would just call him. If he's there, I would pass by. Then he also would come home sometimes and then try to ask me what exactly is happening and all that. All this while that this was going on, I still had the suicidal ideation, because sometimes when I'm driving, and I'm missing a bigger car, I still felt that, okay, if, I only tried it and they have, reported me, that means that the next time I have to make sure that I succeed, so that I don't even get arrested, because the commander will feel that I have let him down, and they may even not report me to him. So I have to make sure I use a sure means of death. Fortunately for me, I got a friend who invited me over to the US for holidays. That was in 2010, December. This whole thing started somewhere October, November. And then I got invited in December to the US. When I got there, she helped me get psychotherapy, and that transformed me completely. So I came back after 3 months. I came back somewhere February 2011. So when I got back, then I decided that because the therapy had made me realize that no, it was just a phase of life I was going through. And so I didn't have to end it all. And I could make things better by changing the way I looked at the situation. So when I got back, I decided that, okay, if this is what I went through and I ended up getting help and I did not die, then how do I help others who are in similar situations, also live and not die? Because I then realized, okay, then suicide is preventable and it is just a mental health situation. I started to read about it. I started to try to learn. Then fortunately I got Gifty Auntie, and I told her I would like to come to your program and I want to talk about my story, just to encourage others that no matter what you are going through in life, or if you have a mental health challenge, with the right treatment or the right professional help, you will definitely, and you can always get better and move on with life. You don't have to die. So thankfully, when I got in touch with Gifty Auntie, she linked me up with Dr. Dodoy, Dr. Eugene Dodoy. Then me, myself, Dr. Eugene Dodoy, and Gifty, I think, and another person, we took part in that TV program. Then after that, Dr. Dodoy became my friend and personal, help. Since then, anytime I have any challenges, I would get in touch with Dr. Dodoy, and then he would also, give me help. And so gradually, Dr. Dodoy, I got a link with the this in the Department of Mental Health at Legon, Dr. Safo, who is now Professor Safo, then Professor Akotia. They all welcomed me. Then I got in touch also with Professor Akwesi, who is now a mentor. Then Madam Sankam from the US. I got in touch with all of them through my advocacy. And since then, my life has been mental health, because I realized that we had the professionals in the system who were ready to help. And so the ideation that I was having, sometimes at the time I could be on a story building, and then I just felt like, why not jump? But because they kept, we discuss, we have this platform, we keep discussing issues about mental health and suicide and how we can push for decriminalization. So when Dr. Kwesi, for instance, when they heard that I had gone through that, it's like with suicide in Ghana, I have gone through the process from beginning to the end. Because when you're suicidal, you're supposed to end up at the police station, you're supposed to be prosecuted. So my prosecution only got truncated by the commander. I should have actually served a jail term. So I always say that it's like my story narrates everything that is supposed to happen to a person who has suicidal ideation in Ghana. And I love to share it because anytime I did a TV program, I realized that people call and they have issues that, can be dealt with, issues that are like mine. They were just having a mental, breakdown. And so if they are given the right medication, they are given the right professional help, they are given the right attention, definitely they can overcome it, just like I did. And that is what my whole life has become. It is all about mental health advocacy. So last week, when I heard about the fact that Ghana has decriminalized suicide, I was like, oh my God, because I've always said that when suicide is decriminalized in Ghana, I'm going to organize a party because that would be my second birthday. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm currently in Canada, I'm not in Ghana. So that party has to be held when I return. But I think my second birthday has been born. And I want to thank all the professionals from Professor Kwesi and all those who have helped to get this law. And then also, I remember I had to go with Prof to see Honorable Minority Leader at the time, Haruna Idrisu, and he was very instrumental. And then I got another papa from there, one of the MPs who lost his daughter through suicide. He also became very helpful, and always I call him, and then he was like, okay, you are my daughter now, but if you try that thing again, I'm gonna cane you. So I just want to say that I am maybe the most excited, if I can say that, about the decriminalization of attempted suicide in Ghana, because I believe that it would be of great help to people who are suicidal. Imagine the fact that at the time, I didn't even know it was a law or it was criminal to, to commit it. But I was so suicidal. So I think that the law was not a deterrent. No. When you are suicidal, it's like you are sick. So being threatened that, oh, I would take you to jail, it doesn't deter the person. Because for me, even that report made my situation worse, because I felt that, this was something that was so personal and private, and I didn't even want people to get to know. But here I am being, called to the police station. I've never had any criminal record, but my co-workers, the receptionist was asking me, what exactly is the problem? Why are the police here for you? And, I had to end up, saying all that, had happened. And they were all shocked because they also didn't know that it was a criminal offense to commit suicide in Ghana. So I just want to thank Parliament. I know it's been a long haul, over 10 years of putting pressure, sometimes we even got tired because I was giving up. I remember over somewhere in December, Professor was saying on the platform, oh, early this year, hopefully we would hear good news. So I started counting the days. In January, every day I wake up hoping to hear that this law has been decriminalized. And all thanks to God and all who put our hands on deck to ensure that this is done. This is rather freedom for people who are suicidal. It is not freedom to die. It is freedom to live and then become the best you. Because having suicidal ideation is not the end. It is probably, for me, my addiction was the beginning of uncovering who exactly I was as a person. It made me realize I was stronger than whatever challenges that I face in life. And all that I needed to do was to have a positive mind about situations in life. And since then, I have saved several lives that, have become friends, have become a family, have become people that, they call me and they are like, okay, because of you, I also did it. I remember very well one particular incident that kept inspiring me so much was one TV program I had on TV3. I gave my phone number. After the program, a gentleman called me and he was like, Madam, my yam bottles, ekutame. Say, let me just switch to tree. A can say, me saw me TV no. Me saw TV no, na me mu say what is so I will say. Also, wafa, ya obi mua, nanka obe kuhu. But as time as some will can yenti, as time cransha, what the Maya say, when he say ye won't know. The bottles look rami. Then he took a picture of the bottles he had, already milled into powder and was ready to drink and die. And together, as he was saying it, I was weeping and he was weeping because, apparently it reminded me of my own situation. And he threw everything away and decided that he was not going to die again. I'm shedding tears of joy today, even as I narrate this, because I feel that it is victory for people who have mental health challenges. It is victory for anyone who has had a family member who is suicidal. And it is also victory for anybody who has passion for people with mental health. And for me, it is the best thing that has ever happened to me as a Ghanaian, that suicide attempt has been decriminalized. And people can freely seek for help. They will not be ashamed again. They will not be judged by people who do not understand what mental health is or what mental illness is. They would no longer have that burden of, not knowing what the next thing will be. They will be ready to seek for help. They will run to professionals. Sometimes when people are even suicidal, when you go to them, they are not ready to speak out because they feel that even telling you is going to lead them to jail, because they got to know, because we started advocating for decriminalization of this law.
So they tell you that, Madam, and that make people die in silence because I need help. If you cannot help me, why put me to jail? If you cannot help me in the situation that I am in, why would you want to put me in jail? I am so grateful. My tears are tears of joy. I am excited. I'm just, so excited. I am overwhelmed actually by this decriminalization. And if I was in Ghana today, I was going to walk from Tema to Parliament to thank them that they kept their word. They listened to professionals like Prof and Co, who told them the truth. Being a suicidal person or having suicidal ideation is not out of wickedness. It's not out of being a bad person. No, it's just a situation. Just imagine me 10 years ago and look at me today. So you would have just put me in jail for like 5 years. People are serving jail terms. And I am hoping that all those people will be released. You put me in jail and you would have worsened my situation because at the time, the situation I was in, I probably would have ended it there. I would have surely found a way of ending it because it would have worsened my situation. But when I got the needed help, when Dr. Dodoy and Co came around, when Dixie and Auntie lent me a helping hand, became a friend to somebody that, who needed help, I became a better person. Today, I am much, much better. I am currently pursuing a mental health program over here through the help of Professor Kwesi. He was very instrumental in giving me a letter to that effect. And I am thankful to him. I'll come back and then do much more for Ghana. Thank you very much for having me. And I'll be ready to answer any questions. I hope I've not gone beyond my time. Emotions made me overwhelmed. I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm thankful to everyone who has been instrumental to my mental health story. I am so, so grateful to all of you. God bless you. God bless you. And thank you, Parliament, again, for decriminalizing suicide in Ghana. It is for mental health patients. It is for people with suicidal ideation to seek for help and not to die. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Favour. It's been really touching and empowering to hear your story. Thank you for sharing these intimate details of your life and your struggle and your success with us. We're grateful to have had you on this show. And we're grateful for all that you've done to improve mental health in Ghana. I mean,